Hello and welcome back to our channel, where we bring you stories of legendary entrepreneurs, business titans, and industry icons. And today, we are going to dive deep into the life of a man named Jesse Livermore, aka the Boy Plunger. In the early 20th century, stock market speculation was the hottest topic in America. But above all the noise, one name echoed: Jesse Livermore. This man was a gambler, a maverick, and a genius. He played the stock market like a roulette table, relying on nothing but intuition, quick thinking, and an unmatched understanding of the markets. Throughout his life, he made and lost to fortunes. He was the biggest independent trader of his time, and yet he died believing he was a failure. His life was a whirlwind of colossal wins and heartbreaking losses. A story that is as much about the roaring 20s as it is about the invincible spirit of America. Join me as we unravel the enigma of the Boy Plunger and explore how his life was a game of pure financial gamble. Chapter 1. The Boy Plunger's Early Gamble. Jesse Livermore was born in 1877 in Shrewsbury, Massachusetts. Growing up, he wasn't surrounded by wealth or privilege. Instead, he was immersed in a world where everyone seemed to be making money from the booming stock market. The lure of easy money led young Jesse to drop out of school at 14 and land a job as a ticker tape boy in Boston. His job was to record stock quotes as they flashed across the ticker tape, a seemingly mundane task. In fact, he soon developed his own system of reading price movements by memorizing the patterns and rhythms of the ticker tape. This skill set the stage for the incredible journey that lay ahead for him. His job at the brokerage firm gave him access to the inner workings of the stock market. It was here that he honed his skills, learning the intricacies of trading and studying the motivations behind each trade. In those dimly lit rooms of Boston's bucket shops, Jesse learned the art of the deal. Bucket shops were unregulated establishments where people could bet on the price movements of stocks without actually owning them. They were basically legalized gambling dens where fortunes were made and lost on the flip of a coin. Despite their unregulated nature, these shops provided the perfect training ground for Jesse. They allowed him to test his strategies, understand market psychology, and learn the importance of managing risk. At 15, armed with his knowledge and a small loan from his mother, Jesse placed his first bet in the bucket shop. To his surprise and delight, he won. This initial success was like fuel to his fire, pushing him to refine his strategies and build his reputation. As word spread about his uncanny ability to predict market movements, Jesse became a sought-after player in the world of stock speculation. However, as his success grew, so did his arrogance. Soon he was labeled a boy plunger, a term used to describe traders who made bold, risky moves in the market, much like the way a plunger slams down on a roulette table. As Jesse's fame grew, so did the profits. Yet there was a darker side to his story. As Jesse got richer, he started losing interest in traditional education. Instead, he spent his time honing his trading skills and building his network in the financial world. By the time he was 19, he was known as the best stock speculator in Boston. Having already made and lost several fortunes in the volatile market, in the world of cutthroat finance, Jesse was a prodigy. But the question remained: could he survive the brutal world of Wall Street? Chapter 2. The Panic of 1907. The year was 1907, and the Panic of 1907 was sending shockwaves through the US economy. Investors were panicking, markets were plummeting, and fortunes were being wiped out overnight. Most investors were caught off guard. But Jesse Livermore wasn't your typical investor. He saw opportunity in the chaos. You see, while everyone else was buying and holding, Jesse believed the market had further to fall. so he decided to go against the grain. He started shorting the market. Now, let me explain what that means. Shorting, simply put, is a way of betting that the price of a stock or an index will go down. It's like betting on a roulette table, except instead of red or black, you're betting on up or down. The market kept falling, and so did his short positions, meaning he made a killing. He pocketed over $1 million, a fortune at the time. This single trade shot him to national fame and established him as a financial genius. Headlines were made, interviews were conducted, and Jesse became the toast of Wall Street. Everyone wanted a piece of the action. Brokerage firms offered him lucrative positions, and investors clamored to be part of his winning team. Despite his meteoric rise, Jesse remained true to his solitary nature, trusting only himself and his instincts. This personality trait, while admirable, was also his undoing. During the market's peak, he isolated himself from all but a handful of people, shutting out the world and all its advice. This decision proved costly, as he missed out on crucial market signals that might have saved him from the financial storm that was brewing. Chapter 3: The Great Short of 1929. By the 1920s, Jesse Livermore was a legend. His name was synonymous with Wall Street, and his every move was followed closely by the media. But, as they say, all good things must come to an end. And Jesse was about to find out just how true that statement can be. The 1920s was a time of economic prosperity in the United States. People were making money hand over fist, and the stock market was soaring to unprecedented heights. It seemed like the good times would never end. But beneath the surface, trouble was brewing. Overspeculation and the easy availability of credit were inflating asset prices beyond their actual value. And when the bubble burst, it burst big. On October 29, 1929, the US stock market collapsed. It was the worst single day in stock market history. But Jesse saw it coming. While the rest of the country was caught up in the euphoria of the bull market, he was quietly building his short positions. He had been watching the market for signs of a crash, and when he saw them, he acted decisively. In the days leading up to the crash, Jesse had been quietly selling short. He believed that the market was overvalued and that a crash was imminent. And when the crash actually happened, he was ready. He had positioned himself to make a fortune. As the market plunged, Jesse's short positions soared in value. He was making millions of dollars a day, and it looked like he would emerge from the crash unscathed. But then something unexpected happened. In fact, by the time the dust settled, Jesse had made over $100 million, equivalent to over $1.5 billion today. That's why he was considered the greatest trader of all time. But Jesse's story doesn't end there. His career was a rollercoaster ride of epic proportions. Just a few years after his huge win in the 1929 crash, he was back in the red. His massive fortune had shrunk to a fraction of its former value. Chapter 4: The Tragic Fall. As the years passed, Jesse's luck started to turn. He made some bad trades and suffered huge losses. He tried to make a comeback, but it seemed like the market was working against him. The once invincible trader was now seen as a has-been. And to make matters worse, his personal life was falling apart. He was married 3 times and divorced twice, and he struggled with depression and bouts of amnesia. The pressures of his high-stakes lifestyle were taking a toll on him, both mentally and physically. By the late 1930s, Jesse was a shadow of his former self. He was broke, his reputation was in tatters, and he was desperate for a comeback. He put everything he had on the line and went all in. But, unfortunately, his last gamble didn't pay off. In 1940, overwhelmed by debt and despair, Jesse took his own life. Chapter 5. A lasting legacy and a tragic end. Jesse Livermore's death made headlines around the world. He had taken his own life, unable to bear the weight of his failures. His story was a cautionary tale of the perils of high-stakes trading and the dark side of the American dream. He left behind a treasure trove of insights into the world of finance and trading. His book, Reminiscences of a Stock Operator, became a Bible for traders around the world. Jesse's story was also a cautionary tale, a reminder that even the best can fall. His life was a game of pure financial gamble, and in the end, he lost the bet. So, what can we learn from the life of Jesse Livermore? Well, for one, we can learn that even the best can lose. Jesse was not a magician. He was not invincible. He was a man with strengths and weaknesses like all of us. Secondly, we can learn that greed and arrogance can lead to downfall. Jesse's story is a cautionary tale of what happens when we let our emotions get the better of us. Finally, we can learn that life is unpredictable. No matter how carefully we plan, there will always be factors beyond our control. We would love to hear your thoughts on Jesse Livermore's life and legacy. Also, if you want to stay updated on our latest videos, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Thank you all for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video.